Hello, and welcome back to the English Learning Space. I'm Emma.
And I'm James. This is the English Learning Space, and our mission is to help you speak English naturally, fluently, and with real confidence in everyday situations.
Today we have a truly practical lesson for you. We are going to teach you 150 essential English phrases for talking about your hometown and where you live in the IELTS speaking test.
This is one of the most common topics in IELTS. Almost every candidate gets a question about their city, village, neighborhood, or accommodation.
And yet, many students struggle because they run out of ideas or their answers sound too short and repetitive. Today, we fix that completely.
Whether you live in a huge metropolis, a small town, or a remote village, we will give you the language to describe your home area clearly, naturally, and impressively.
And even if you're not taking IELTS, this lesson is incredibly useful. Talking about where you live happens in job interviews, when you meet new people, at school, and in daily small talk.
So this lesson is for IELTS test takers, English learners, and anyone who wants to speak about their living situation with clarity and ease.
That covers a huge audience.
It really does. So if you're ready, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to this. Let's begin. Hey James, how are you today?
I'm great, Emma. Actually, I just came back from a walk in my neighborhood and I realized how much I enjoy living where I do. It's a quiet residential area with lots of trees.
That sounds lovely. I live in a much busier part of the city. Lots of traffic and noise, but also very convenient.
See, that's exactly the kind of contrast we need to talk about today. What about you? Have you always lived in the same place?
No, I moved around a lot as a child. I was born in a small coastal town, then we moved to a big city when I was a teenager, so I have experience with both.
Perfect. You can bring that perspective to today's lesson. So let's dive into IELTS Speaking Part 1 first. What kinds of questions about hometown or accommodation appear in Part 1?
Very common ones are, where are you from? Do you like your hometown? How long have you lived there? What is your neighborhood like? And what do you like about where you live?
These are direct and personal. In Part 1, you should give answers of about 2 to 4 sentences. Not too short, not too long. Each sentence should add real information.
Let me give you a strong answer for, do you like your hometown?
Please do.
Yes, I'm very fond of my hometown. It's a medium-sized city in the north of my country. It's not as fast-paced as the capital, but it has a relaxed atmosphere and friendly people. I feel a strong sense of belonging there.
That's excellent. Notice the phrases very fond of, fast-paced, relaxed atmosphere, and a strong sense of belonging. These are all band 7+ expressions.
Another common question is, what is your neighborhood like? A good answer could be, my neighborhood is quite residential and family-oriented. It's fairly quiet most of the time, but there are a few local shops and a park where people gather in the evenings. One thing I really appreciate is that it's within walking distance of the city center.
Within walking distance. That's a very useful phrase. It means you can walk there easily.
Exactly. Now, what if the examiner asks about the disadvantages of your area? For example, is there anything you don't like about where you live?
That is very common. A balanced answer shows maturity. You could say, to be honest, the main drawback is the traffic. During rush hour, the streets get extremely congested. Also, public transport could be more reliable. However, these are minor issues compared to the overall convenience of living here.
I like how you used drawback, congested, reliable, and then turned it positive with minor issues compared to. That's a great structure. Let's move to Part 2, the long turn. A typical cue card for this topic might say, describe your hometown. You should say where it is located, what kind of place it is, what people do there, and explain what you like or dislike about it. You have 1 minute to prepare, and then you speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Let me give you a model answer. I'll pretend my hometown is a small coastal town.
Go ahead.
I'd like to describe my hometown, which is a small coastal town called Seabreeze. It's located in the south of my country, right on the Atlantic coast. The town has a population of around 20,000 people, so it's quite small and close-knit. It's the kind of place where everybody knows everybody. In terms of what kind of place it is, I would say it's very laid-back and unspoiled. There are no huge shopping malls or skyscrapers. Instead, you see colorful houses, narrow streets, and a lovely promenade along the sea. The main industries are fishing and tourism, so the town comes alive during the summer months. As for what people do there, many locals work in fishing, hospitality, or small family-run shops. In their free time, people often go for walks along the beach, have coffee at the seaside cafes, or just sit and watch the sunset. There's a real sense of community, and neighbors look out for each other. What I like most about my hometown is the pace of life. It's slow, peaceful, and stress-free. Whenever I go back, I feel instantly relaxed. The only thing I dislike is that job opportunities are quite limited, especially for young people. That's why I moved to the city for work. Still, I treasure my hometown and visit whenever I can.
That is a fantastic Part 2 answer. Let's pull out the key phrases. Close-knit, laid back and unspoiled, promenade, comes alive during, family-run, a real sense of community, pace of life, stress-free, job opportunities are limited, and I treasure my hometown.
Exactly. And notice the structure: location, description, activities, likes and dislikes. That covers everything the cue card asks for.
Now, what about Part 3? Part 3 questions are more abstract. They might ask, how have towns and cities changed in your country in recent decades? Or what are the advantages and disadvantages of living in a big city versus a small town? Or why do some people choose to move away from their hometown?
These require you to discuss trends, society, and opinions. Let me answer this one. What are the advantages of living in a big city?
Please.
There are several distinct advantages to city living. First and foremost, cities offer far more job opportunities across a wide range of industries. Secondly, public transport, healthcare, and entertainment facilities are usually much better developed. You have access to museums, theaters, restaurants, and nightlife. Thirdly, cities are incredibly diverse. You meet people from all walks of life, which can broaden your horizons. That said, city life is not for everyone because it can be expensive and stressful.
Great use of first and foremost, across a wide range, all walks of life, broaden your horizons, and that said, to introduce a contrast.
Now a Part 3 question about disadvantages of small towns. Answer: on the flip side, living in a small town can have some downsides. The most common complaint is the lack of career progression. Many young people feel they have to move away to find decent work. Also, public services like hospitals or universities might be far away. However, small towns often offer a stronger sense of community and a much lower cost of living. It really depends on your priorities.
On the flip side, that's a great discourse marker. And career progression, decent work, cost of living, all high-band vocabulary.
Now, let's cover essential phrases for describing your hometown or accommodation. We'll go category by category.
First, phrases for describing location. You can say, it's located in the north, south, east, west of the country. It lies on the coast, near the mountains, along a river. It's a bustling metropolis, a sleepy village, a suburban area. It's within commuting distance of the capital. It's a 2-hour drive from the nearest city.
Second, phrases for describing the character of a place. It's a very vibrant and lively place. It has a rich history dating back centuries. It's quite industrial and work-oriented. It's a residential area with mostly families. The town has a very laid-back, almost rural feel. It's a concrete jungle, lots of skyscrapers and traffic.
Concrete jungle. That's a nice idiom for a very built-up city.
Third, phrases for talking about people and community. People are very friendly and welcoming. There's a strong sense of community spirit. Locals are quite reserved but polite. It's a close-knit community where everyone knows everyone. People tend to keep to themselves in the city. Neighbors look out for each other here.
Fourth, phrases for likes and positive aspects. I love the fact that everything is within walking distance. What I appreciate most is the peaceful atmosphere. The city is incredibly well connected by public transport. There's never a dull moment, always something going on. It's a great place to raise a family. The scenery around here is absolutely breathtaking.
Breathtaking, a strong adjective for beautiful views. Fifth, phrases for dislikes or challenges. The main drawback is the noise pollution. Traffic congestion is a nightmare during rush hour. The cost of living has skyrocketed in recent years. There's a serious lack of green spaces. Public transport is unreliable and overcrowded. Job opportunities are scarce, especially for graduates.
Sixth, phrases for comparing city and country life. City life is more convenient, but also more stressful. Living in the countryside offers peace and quiet, but at the cost of isolation. You have to weigh the pros and cons. There's a trade-off between career opportunities and quality of life. Some people prefer the anonymity of a big city. Others crave the slower pace of rural living.
Undergone a remarkable transformation that's very sophisticated. Eighth, phrases for giving opinions about where you live. In my humble opinion, it's one of the best places to live in the country. From my perspective, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. I wouldn't trade it for anywhere else. It's not perfect, but it's home. I have a love-hate relationship with the city. Given the choice, I'd prefer to live somewhere quieter. A love-hate relationship is very natural. Now, let's also cover phrases for describing your accommodation, because IELTS often asks about your house or flat.
For example, I currently live in a rented flat on the 5th floor of a modern apartment block. It's a 2-bedroom flat with a small balcony. The best thing about my place is the view. I can see the city skyline. It's fairly compact, but it's cozy and functional. We've decorated it in a minimalist style. One drawback is that the walls are quite thin, so you can hear the neighbors.
And for those who live in a house, I live in a detached house with a small garden. My neighborhood is very quiet and family-friendly. Our house is quite spacious, with 3 bedrooms and an open-plan living area. The only downside is that it's a bit far from the city center. I've lived there since I was a child, so it holds a lot of sentimental value.
Holds a lot of sentimental value. Beautiful. Now, let's talk about useful idioms and fixed expressions for this topic.
First, it's a stone's throw away from, meaning very close. My flat is a stone's throw away from the metro station. Second, the best of both worlds, when you have advantages of 2 different situations. Living in a suburb gives you the best of both worlds, peace and quiet, plus easy access to the city.
Third, off the beaten track, a remote or less visited place. My hometown is a bit off the beaten track, which is why it's so unspoiled. Fourth, a far cry from, very different from. My current neighborhood is a far cry from the noisy area where I grew up.
Emma. Fifth, the hub of activity, a very busy central place. The main square is the hub of activity, especially on weekends. Sixth, to put down roots, to settle permanently in a place. I've finally put down roots in this city after moving around for years.
Seventh, a breath of fresh air, something new and refreshing. Moving to the countryside was a breath of fresh air after 10 years in the city. Eighth, in the middle of nowhere, very remote. My grandparents live in a tiny village in the middle of nowhere.
Now, we need to give our viewers practical advice for using these phrases in IELTS.
First, don't try to memorize everything. Pick 3 or 4 phrases that feel natural to you and practice them in full sentences. Second, personalize your answers. The examiner wants to hear about your hometown, not a generic description. Third, use adjectives and adverbs to add color. Instead of "it's busy," say "it's incredibly busy and chaotic."
Fourth, when you don't know a specific word, paraphrase. For example, if you don't know pedestrianized, say, "They have made the streets only for walking." Fifth, practice out loud. Record yourself describing your hometown for 2 minutes. Listen back and notice where you hesitate.
Excellent advice. Now, let's do a vocabulary summary of the most powerful words and phrases from today's lesson. We'll explain each one.
Emma. Close-knit. Adjective, meaning a group of people who have strong relationships with each other. My village is very close-knit.
Number 2, laid back, relaxed and easygoing. The atmosphere here is quite laid back.
Unspoiled. Not damaged or changed by people. Natural and beautiful. The coastline is still unspoiled.
Number 4, bustling, full of busy activity. The market is always bustling on Saturdays.
Concrete jungle. A city area with many modern buildings and very little nature. I sometimes feel trapped in this concrete jungle.
Number 6, within walking distance, close enough to reach by walking. All the shops are within walking distance of my flat.
Breathtaking. So beautiful or surprising that it takes your breath away. The view from the hill is absolutely breathtaking.
Number 8, skyrocketed, increased very quickly. House prices have skyrocketed in the last 5 years.
Trade-off. A situation where you gain one thing but lose another. Living in the suburbs involves a trade-off between space and convenience.
Number 10, gentrification, the process of making a poor area more expensive and attractive for richer people. Gentrification has changed the character of the neighborhood.
Pedestrianized. Changed into an area where cars are not allowed. The high street has been pedestrianized, which is great for shoppers.
Number 12, sentimental value, importance because of personal or emotional reasons, not money. My childhood home has huge sentimental value for me.
And one bonus phrase. A far cry from. Very different from. My current lifestyle is a far cry from what I was used to.
That's 13 powerful expressions. Now, let's put it all together with a final model answer for a Part 3 question that often scares students. Do you think it's better to live in a city or in the countryside?
Great question. Here's a balanced answer. In my view, there is no definitive answer because it depends entirely on a person's priorities and stage of life. For young professionals, a city is often better because of the abundant job opportunities, networking possibilities, and entertainment options. However, for retirees or families with young children, the countryside or a small town might be preferable due to the cleaner air, lower crime rates, and slower pace of life. Personally, I think the ideal solution is to have the best of both worlds, perhaps living in a suburb that offers a balance. Ultimately, it's a personal choice based on what you value most.
That answer uses definitive answer, depends entirely on, stage of life, abundant, preferable due to, the best of both worlds, and ultimately. It's balanced, thoughtful, and full of high-band language.
Exactly. And it doesn't just give an opinion, it gives reasons and acknowledges different perspectives. That's what IELTS examiners love.
Now, we want to hear from you, our viewers. Our question of the day is, describe your hometown or the place you currently live in using at least 3 phrases from today's lesson. Tell us what you like and what you would change if you could.
I'll go first to give you an example. I currently live in a bustling city center. It's incredibly convenient. Everything is within walking distance. However, it's also a concrete jungle with very few green spaces. If I could change one thing, I would pedestrianize more streets and plant more trees. That would make the city much more livable.
And I'll do mine. My hometown is a small, close-knit village in the mountains. It's very laid back and unspoiled, a far cry from the hectic city where I work now. What I love most is the breathtaking scenery.
The only downside is that job opportunities are scarce, which is why many young people leave.
See? Those are personal, specific, and use our key phrases. Now it's your turn. Write your answer in the comments section below. We read every single one, and we'll give you encouragement and feedback.
If you found this lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone preparing for IELTS or wanting to improve their English speaking.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. We release new content every week to help you speak English with confidence.
You have worked hard to get here. Every phrase you practice is a step towards your goal. Be proud of your progress.
Keep describing, keep speaking, and keep improving. Your English journey is worth every effort.
Thank you for being part of the English learning space. Have a fantastic day, evening or night, wherever you are in the world.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.